FPL Potato Me TNT teams and transfers for game week 16. I am Mushroom Head Potato, and this is
Hokkien Me.
all right. So we'll be talking about game week 16, what we're planning. A lot of people have talked about, there's not really much to talk about, just in terms of like who to bring in. If you have one transfer, who's the one punt, or you have two transfers, the two punts, or whatever it is. So anyhow, without further ado, let's have a look at our teams for this week. First up, Hokkien Me. Okay, so game week 16, you have David Raya away at Man City in goal, Cancelo home to Brentford, Dunk home to Aston Villa, Trippier home to Chelsea. In midfield, you're playing a 3-5-2. In midfield, you have Almiron home to Chelsea, Saka away at Wolves, Martinelli also away at Wolves, KDB, who's your captain currently, home to Brentford, and then Rashford away at Fulham. In attack, you have Callum Wilson home to Chelsea and Haaland home to Brentford. And on your bench, you have Guaita, White, Mitrovic, and Nico Williams. So, I have a couple questions for you. First up, the big thing that shouts at me is like, what's the decision for benching Guaita and starting Raya?
No, I'm going to change. I haven't changed. Okay, this team, there's a few things I haven't changed.
Okay.
Because you asked me to just screenshot to you. I just screenshot my last week team to you only. I haven't do any changes.
Hey, I thought you have all these.
No. I haven't do any changes. Okay, the thing is, Guaita is confirmed starting in place of Raya.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Because if you want to compare Man City scoring against Brentford and Forest scoring against Crystal, although both is away, Crystal have a higher chance of clean sheet.
Yeah. Although both of us, I think, predicted no clean sheets, right? For Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I predicted no clean sheet, but there is still a chance. Higher chance.
That's true. It's a higher chance. I mean, I think everybody and everybody's grandma is predicting a trashing for Brentford.
The next thing is now I have a problem is I need to put White in.
Okay.
But my current three defender, Cancelo, Dunk, Trippier, I still want to have them. So I have to remove one midfield or I have to play 4-5-1.
Wow, that's 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 the tricky. And are you planning any transfers at all?
That's the thing. Okay, one thing.
How much money do you have in the bank?
I only have 0.2.
0.2 in a bank, and so the only transfer you were thinking about was
by right should be Mitrovic off.
Yeah.
But no, but it's no point because I got no place. I want to play this five midfields. You thinking my five midfield? Who can I take out? Both look like they are able to score.
All five of them can score at any point in game week 16. You are right to score or assist.
So if the only one I want to take out, I maybe will already take out Almiron, although he's very on form versus Chelsea.
I don't know, man. Have you seen the Chelsea results? Have you seen their play?
Or if I take out Rashford only, but this Rashford is suddenly when you take out him, suddenly pop one goal. Wow!
And it's against Fulham that I'm pretty sure that's going to be a high scoring game. That's there. And this is my prediction for this weekend. And we can look at our predicted results later. I think
only one I want to bring in seriously is Firmino.
Interesting.
I feel more secure if I have one
Liverpool
player. I won't have Salah. I won't want Salah. But I think Firmino. People will want to go for Darwin but I like Firmino because he can score, he can assist. Darwin mostly is only score if he is in the parade. But do you see he play? He's quite clown on the way he play. I really don't like the way he play.
We had a whole back and forth on WhatsApp about
Darwin. He's a chance waster.
Yeah, I know you're not a big fan. I mean, he's a physical specimen. He's a physical specimen. He's like, he's an athlete. He's definitely an athlete. So that's.
But he's not clinical.
No, but he is an athlete. He will try for you. He will run around like a man, like a horse on steroids. He will not stop running.
Yeah, but not effective, leh.
He assisted. Salah. So and he had a return. So that's there.
Yeah, but he assisted Salah. But that one, the first goal, last week, the first goal is a very good goal. It's Salah turned very fast. He turned and shoot very fast.
Yeah,
It's
it was a
really
good
damn
team
good.
goal as well. Robertson playing out the ball to Darwin. Darwin finds
Yeah,
Salah in
then but
space.
the second goal is a lucky goal.
Yeah, I mean that was Dyer making a mistake.
Yeah, the second is a lucky goal. If you have 1-on-1, mostly Salah will score.
And Spurs were lucky. They played very well in the second half. Like Perisic hit the bar twice
Fire
or
up.
something like that. Yeah,
Actually, they are lucky. Spurs hit the post 2 times.
yeah, twice. Perisic. Yeah,
Wow, I
Perisic.
can see the header. Wow, Perisic so short. He hit. Wow, damn nice. They hit the post. Wow.
Perisic is a class player, man. He's a class. I mean, this is why
Yeah.
people have been talking about it. But
So you
it's
see,
just
if my team, based on my team,
yeah.
for podcast one, you all have to hear. You all cannot imagine, maybe you all forget what is my team. But for the YouTube one, if I even put in Firmino, I have to take out Wilson already,
Yeah.
But if I got no money, Wilson is 7 million. Firmino is eight
You'd have
million
to
plus.
take a -4. I don't think it's worth it to take -4 to bring
Yeah,
in
I want
Bobby
to
Firmino.
because he may not score. So what for I -4? And why I -4? Who am I going to sell? There's no one I want to sell.
I mean, to be honest, the only transfer.
I'll sell Saka? No, I'm not going to sell Saka.
I mean, like your team really can burn the transfer or bring in a keeper, lor.
But the thing is, if I don't transfer now,
Yeah.
so during after that is a World Cup, you have all the free transfer. Like you can do all the transfer, right?
Yeah.
Then did he say then if I 17 never do and 18 I will have I will lack of one transfer because 17
What, you planning not to do unlimited transfers?
no. If I do any unlimited transfer, they say what if your GB 16 you didn't do the transfer, so you got one transfer roll over to 17, right?
Yeah.
But because of the World Cup, so you do all the transfer.
Yeah.
So before 17 start, it's okay. Then 18, I will have 2 free transfer because of the 16 pass to 18
I don't know if that's how it works. I have to look at it again, but I'm pretty sure
18, I definitely will have 2 free transfer.
Are you sure?
I definitely will have 18 2-3 transfer. You read the thing you sent me?
I'm pretty sure it's if you don't do any unlimited transfers, then you can have 2 transfers in Game Week 18.
No. The limited transfer doesn't matter.
No, as in like if you don't do any transfers in Game Week 17, as you don't do anything.
You will do. That's a free wild card,
No, but I think that's what it is. If you don't do any, then you will have 2 for Game Week 18. I don't believe that anything will get carried over from Game Week 16. I'm pretty sure.
The thing you sent me, I forget.
That's what everybody has been asking, and it's quite clear. If you don't use your transfer, it gets burned this week.
No, I don't. Nevertheless, I want this is one of my lesson learned. Don't do transfer for the sake of doing it.
No, that's true. So I mean, so this is what I said. It's either you burn the transfer or you bring in a keeper.
I think Guaita is good enough. Another keeper, who did I predict to have a clean sheet? Let me see. Bring what? David De Gea.
To be honest, I don't think there are many clean sheets apart from Man City this week.
I predicted Liverpool clean sheet. I predicted Newcastle clean sheet. I predicted
Man
Brighton
City,
clean sheet.
Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal. Arsenal is how much is Ramsdale again? 5.
Yeah. I predicted Man U clean sheet. Yeah.
So yeah, you don't.
So if you want a clean sheet, let me see who can I sell and buy.
Your predicted clean sheets are all too expensive for you. Too expensive.
Yeah. 4.7. Nobody. Henderson O'Neill.
Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez lah.
I think Sanchez has a good chance of getting a clean sheet. Although, yeah, both you and I predict a clean sheet for Sanchez this week, actually. So
that would be I will just stay Guaita lah.
you gotta burn your transfer.
Burn don't do for the sake of doing. What happen if? If
Guaita saves a penalty.
No, if I go and make a transfer, okay?
Yeah.
I sell Guaita and I buy Sanjay, okay? if Guaita perform,
Yeah.
I'll be fucking angry. Because I
Okay.
do the transfer for the sake of transfer.
No.
Okay?
You're absolutely.
If I never do transfer,
Yeah.
okay, I never do transfer,
Yeah.
and Guaita never perform, but
Yeah.
Sanchez perform,
Yeah.
but I will not be so angry.
That is a very good reason. That is
The comparison of the disappointment, right,
yeah. Yeah.
is I never do transfer, I won't so disappointed
Yeah.
because that is my decision.
Yeah.
But if I do the transfer, is I really doing for the sake of doing, and
Yeah.
if I miss out, I'll be wow, I will like taking my own cock and hit my head. This is a dumb move. So
No,
I
no,
rather don't do
it's a
transfer. For me,
it's a
it's like
common
I rather
it's a
don't do transfer.
commonly followed line logic for FPL. No, I get it. Okay, so in that case, you're gonna burn the transfer. Then let's go back to your dilemma of who to start for this week.
Maybe
Then.
never burn, maybe 16, 17 bring to 18.
No, man,
Because I read, no, because I read the thing that you paste me is from FPL. You say if you're 16, 17, your transfer will, if you have 16, have one free transfer, and during the World Cup era, you did any transfer, all these, will the free transfer roll to 18? I think they reply say yes.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Everybody on FPL Twitter has already said if you
Really?
burn it,
Maybe I misunderstand the statement.
yeah,
Lah.
if you burn
But
it,
it's
that's
okay
it.
lah. Have, don't have lah. It's
Yeah.
okay lah.
But let's go back to your selection, your team selection dilemma.
Yes,
So
that's not. Maybe I tell you, most probably,
yeah,
I will just bench Wilson.
really,
Then I'll
wow,
put him one.
really,
Yep.
okay. I honestly, the way that Newcastle has been playing, plus the way that that Chelsea has been playing, I really I would not be surprised if Wilson returns this week. Especially, it depends lah. I think if he doesn't make it, I think both ways actually. He makes it to the squad, he's on a high. He doesn't make it to the squad, he wants to prove them wrong. So it's like it's and he's well rested because he had the illness. He didn't play Carabao Cup as well. I think he should be fine for the weekend. And Chelsea we've all seen their performances.
Then you recommend who should I take up to book in Wilson?
No, man. I mean, after looking at your predictions and us talking about through the team, I think this is the team to go with. Apart from Guaita starting, of course.
So no, with Wilson or without Wilson?
I would start Wilson over White, but that's
how do I put in White?
I will put White on. I put White. Like I said, having looked at our predictions and everything that we talked about, I'll put White on the bench first on the bench.
No, White have a very high chance of clean sheet.
I don't think so. I mean, that's me lah. That's me. That's me. So. For two reasons.
I feel Wolf cannot break down Arsenal defense.
These are my reasons and you can
I'm more confident in Arsenal clean sheet. Very confident really.
Okay, these are my reasons. One is the last game before they break for the World Cup and they're at home, so Wolves are gonna try and perform as well as they can, but they're not gonna win. I don't think they're gonna win. Arsenal's too good for them.
No, they try every week. They also try
let me finish.
Okay, sorry,
Secondly, they scored 2 goals when we didn't expect them to score last week. And thirdly, it's this game week. I think it's going to be similar to game week 38 when there's going to be wild results because it's somewhat like the last game week before a big break, and so we're going to see I think we'll see a lot of fluctuating scores. That's how I see it. If
you say like that, then maybe Brighton will have a clean sheet versus Aston Villa because the new manager very good.
Yeah, but Brighton's at home, so that's there.
So.
What do you mean they're not at home?
No, so what?
They are
at home. They may concede 1 goal. They may win, but they still may concede.
No, I think
Aston Villa is good.
So in that case, I would actually be more comfortable with you benching Dunk than benching Wilson because of the form that Newcastle has been in and the way Chelsea has been playing. So that's my take. That's my take. You know, at the end of the day, it's your decision to make. Again, play your own game. Remember we talked about this.
I know lah. You try to strike responsibility. Then next time I say, hey, I already tell you play your own game already. Then I cannot say you. I cannot be a casino auntie.
And we've talked about last week. We talked about FPL chasers charts for non-penalty chances, expected goals conceded. We have to remember Chelsea has the second worst non-penalty expected goals conceded.
Okay lah. If you like say, I'll take out down lah. Take out down.
Okay. All right. So that is Uncle Hokkien Mee's starting 11 for.
Wow! Wait.
Okay.
My sixth sense come again.
Okay. What does your sixth sense say now?
No, I gotta bench Wilson.
Damn, boy. Okay.
I gotta play down. I feel Aston Villa is good, but Brighton should have a clean sheet. Maybe it's a new game also.
I don't think it'll be a new game because of the way De Zerbi plays. He's damn
effective. It's okay. I go with my instinct. My instinct strike again. When I do, I suddenly a feeling saying no. I'm gonna regret this thing. I'm gonna bench Wilson really.
Play your game, man. You gotta play your own game. All right,
yes,
man.
And my captain will be Haaland, and my vice captain will be Saka.
Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, man. Moving on to my team. Let's have a look.
Okay, I'm not gonna do any transfer.
Set it. He's set and he's done. Okay, so for my team, I have Pickford in goal away at Bournemouth. I'm playing a 4-4-2, although I don't really want to, but I don't really have a choice here. I have Trippier in defense, Estupinian, Cancelo, and Gabriel. And then in midfield, I have Martinelli, Zaha, Saka, and De Bruyne. And in attack, I have Haaland and Wilson. And on the bench, I have Ward, Andreas Pereira, Nico Williams, and of course I have Tony because I drunkenly transferred up Bobby Firmino for Wilson instead of Tony. But that worked out okay because I have De Bruyne because that freed up money for me to bring in De Bruyne. And it has also freed up money for me
to have now in the bank?
0.3.
Oh.
It has also freed up money for me to potentially move from De Bruyne to Salah. I'm thinking about going to Salah this week as a 1 week punt. So that's there.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
KDB to Salah is good.
Yeah, it's the move that I don't have to take any hits for. Because part of me wants to play.
Your team is good. You just KDB for Salah is a very good defense, really.
Yeah, there's part of me that wants to take a -4 so that I can play a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. But then there's like, why do I want to take a -4? And also for people who don't know, our mini league is playing a huge forfeit. The people who end up the last 3 of game week 16 will have to continue paying out for lottery tickets, which will come.
I feel for you lah. It's really good KDB to Salah.
But I mean, so what we wanted to say is, what I wanted to say was that it will amount to about like 100 plus US dollars. Yeah, US dollars would be like 110 US dollars if you end up in the bottom 3 for game week 16. So we want to avoid that.
Yep.
So we don't want to take hits.
But I think really use KDB to Salah is good.
Yeah, but I think I will keep the captain's armband on Haaland.
Vice captain Salah.
Yeah, vice captain Salah, captaincy on Haaland. Because even though Pep was saying that, there's ligament damage or whatever it is, but Haaland was on the bench for the Carabao Cup. He was on the bench. So he's not completely unfit. He was on the bench.
This 1 month he can rest. He also not playing World Cup. Haaland not going to the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't know why Pep makes these statements, man. Part of me think, is he trying to fuck with other managers?
No, he just say like maybe he just.
And in doing that, he's fucking with us.
It's just like you do the media, do for the sake of doing. Just like talk with them, answer your question, just like entertain them. Okay, let's fuck off.
This is true. Maybe he doesn't even think about it. He's just talking shit. You're right.
Yeah, he's just talking shit. He's just it's like that. Okay, entertain your 30-minute conference. Okay, let's fuck off. I will go and do that thing. Yeah, he just entertain talking shit. Your answer, I give you just Yeah, answer like a bit alien answer lah.
Yeah. But it's clear he does not like revealing his lineups. He likes to be mysterious there. That is definitely.
Yeah, I like to do this, do that. He said before already. I like to ting, 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 ting.
Yeah, that's there.
But I think it's good. But I think it's good if you do this move. Really, it's good.
Yeah, so that's me. That's me. Can you for the
Really
listeners and
depends.
viewers, listeners and
Maybe I
viewers,
also want to do that.
really? But I thought you're on. I just wanted to ask you to explain your anti-Salah sentiment.
I just don't like him lah. But this game, he's Liverpool home. They feel fired up. But Southampton really, wow, I cannot see any way Southampton can win Liverpool.
I can't see any way they won't get trashed. That's why I want to bring Salah in.
You say Forest, all these that win Liverpool.
No, but you're right. I forgot about the Forest game. Forest was at home, so this is
and Forest defense is always good. They park the ball, then they bam, suddenly counter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. After the first couple of weeks, they sorted it out.
You see Southampton, Southampton only set piece.
Yeah, and the big problem is Southampton sacked Hasenhuttl, so they don't have a manager. They have a new manager coming in for Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, they got sacked. Oh, yeah, lor.
Yeah. So it's transition time, and I don't see.
Yeah.
I don't see them having a bounce like Aston Villa because A, they're not at home. B, the manager they appointed isn't like Unai Emery, who's like world famous coach.
That's why I say.
They've appointed a coach who
also
was in the championship.
It's just for defense. Really, it's just for defense.
Yeah, defensive move, yeah, man. I mean, because in our mini league currently, let's see, how many people own Salah? 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm pretty sure this week there'll be many more who will own Salah. Especially because
we'll make that move. Let me think through tonight. Maybe tomorrow I make the transfer.
I'm pretty sure. So I'm making that move. One. So other people have De Bruyne. And I can see other people making
just nice if Salah, a lot of people make the move and Salah price increase, then I got no money lah.
Well, then you gotta make the decision fast. So how many people have De Bruyne? 1.
Oh,
2,
but I don't want
3,
because it make me lose money.
4. Why will that make you lose money?
I purchased.
Oh, you bought De Bruyne a long time ago, did you? Really?
No, I bought at 12.5. Now De Bruyne is 12.6. So if I sell him to buy Salah, and later if I sell Salah and I buy back KTB, I will lose 0.1.
Sure. Do you want to lose 0.1 or do you want to end up bottom 3 of the league? Because I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna go Salah and
everybody goes Salah and KTB scored 2 goals and Salah suddenly never performed like the 9-0, but he didn't.
There will be potentially up to 10 players or 9 players who will have Salah this week. I can see that happening because a lot of people, they just need to make one transfer and they can get Salah. I think a lot of people.
Let me think through it lah. Maybe I don't go for it. Just be special so I can have the differential.
Yeah, that's.
I need to have differential. I'm chasing. Yeah, I cannot follow the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's one way to do it. Definitely. One way to do it.
Okay.
All right. Did you have any and let's go through our predictions very quickly.
For prediction.
For game week 16. So Man City versus Brentford. Hokkien Me has 3-0 for Man City. I predicted 4-0. Bournemouth versus Everton. Hokkien Me has predicted a draw, a 1-1 draw. I predicted a 2-2 draw.
We are close. We are very close.
Yeah, very close. Hokkien Me has predicted a 3-0 win over Southampton for Liverpool. I have predicted a 5-1 win. Well, I don't want Liverpool to have a clean sheet, so that's there. You have predicted a 2-1 win for Forest over Crystal Palace. I have predicted a 3-2 away win for Crystal Palace. I have Zaha, so I'm biased. You have predicted a 2-1 win for Spurs over Leeds. I predicted a 4-2 win. I think there's goals in that game. You have predicted a 2-1 win for West Ham over Leicester. I predicted a draw, a 2-2 draw there. And then you have predicted a 1-0 win for Newcastle over Chelsea. I predicted a 2-0 win. And then you have predicted a 2-0 away win for Arsenal over Wolves. I predicted same margin but different score, 3-1 win. And you have predicted, hence, I'm not confident Gabriel or White keeping a clean sheet. But hopefully you're right and they keep a clean sheet. I'll be very happy for that, especially because I missed out on Gabriel's points because of the crash. And then you predicted a 1-0 win over Aston Villa for Brighton. I predicted a 2-0 win. And finally, you predicted a 2-0 win for Man United over Fulham. I predicted another 4-2 win.
You are mad, no? This week, you see your prediction all high scoring one.
I like I said, man, I'm going with my gut. And the logic that this is going to be similar to
high scoring madness last week, before
last
the World
week.
Cup.
That's my prediction. That's my
Your
prediction.
prediction. Why also many goals, yeah?
Because that's what I think is going to happen, man. Everybody's going out all out.
I'm so tired.
All right, man. That brings us to the end of TNT for Game Week 16. This is MHP, and you are.
Okay, me. I wish everybody luck before the World Cup. Have a
all the best. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, time.